Did you know that Birmingham, Alabama has a poverty rate of 25.8%, which is more than double the national average? Or did you know that in Syracuse, New York, the child poverty rate is 47.4%, making it one of the highest in the nation for a city of its size? In this video, we will find answers for all the questions. The USA is the richest country in the world, if we take just the numbers. But even with all this wealth, there's a big gap between the rich and the poor, and some places have a lot of people struggling to get by. Around 38 million people in the US are living in poverty, which is about 12% of everyone in the country. In this video, we're going to take a look at the 10 places in the US where it's especially tough. Birmingham is the biggest city in Alabama, home to over 212,000 people. It's a place with a lot of history, but today, about 26% of its residents live in poverty, which is a lot higher than the 12% national average. People here earn about $31,283 on average each year, which is much less compared to the average American family. Although it's a bit cheaper to live in Birmingham than in other parts of the country, finding a good job is tough since the unemployment rate is at 8.02%, which means more people are without jobs compared to the rest of the U.S. In Springfield, a city full of life and activity, there's a hidden side where many people are fighting poverty every day. Around 26% of the city's population lives below the poverty line, which is more than double the state's poverty rate of 11%. This widespread poverty affects the city's ability to fix old buildings and support its most vulnerable citizens, making it harder for Springfield to shine as brightly as it could. Syracuse has been facing poverty challenges for a long time. Despite some improvements, the city's poverty rates remain among the highest in the nation. Specifically, the poverty rate among children is alarmingly high at 47.4%. This means nearly half of the city's kids live in families that struggle to make ends meet on less than $27,479 a year for a family of four. This situation shows how tough life can be in Syracuse for the youngest residents. Jackson, the capital city of Mississippi, is grappling with significant poverty, with 28% of its population living in difficult conditions. This translates to about 47,341 people out of a community of over 160,000 facing financial hardship. The poverty rate in Jackson stands out even more when compared to the entire state of Mississippi, which has a poverty rate of 21%, highlighting the acute challenges faced by residents in the capital. In Newark, New Jersey's largest city, the struggle against economic hardship is real for many of its 281,054 residents. With a poverty rate of 28.9%, Newark highlights the economic disparities within the city. The average income for a household here is $35,199, significantly lower than the national average, painting a picture of a city where many residents are working hard just to get by each day. Nearly half of all children in Rochester live in poverty, making it one of the cities with the highest rates of child poverty in the country. This is particularly true for Black and Latino families, who are disproportionately affected. For a family of four in Rochester, being poor means living on less than $27,750 a year. This stark statistic underlines the racial and economic inequalities that challenge the city, impacting the futures of countless children. In Hartford, Connecticut's capital, poverty is a significant issue, with 75% of its population living below the poverty line. This is higher than the national average, highlighting the economic struggles faced by many of its 116,000 residents. The average household income is $37,477, and the city has been consistently ranked among the poorest in the nation for years. Hartford's story is one of resilience amid challenges, as the city works to overcome economic difficulties and improve the lives of its residents. Dayton, a city in Ohio, is home to a community of over 136,000 people, with a poverty rate of 31%. The average income in Dayton is $46,430, but despite this, a significant portion of the population struggles to meet basic needs. This high poverty rate reflects the broader challenges facing the city, including job availability and access to resources, as Dayton works toward economic recovery and growth. Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland faces a poverty rate that is strikingly higher than the Ohio average, with 31.9% of its residents living in poverty. This statistic is a sobering reminder of the economic disparities that exist within the city. Nearly 105,000 people, including over 33,500 children, lived in poverty in 2021. With the highest child poverty rate among large U.S. cities, Cleveland's challenges are a call to action to address the root causes of poverty and support those in need. Detroit, Michigan's largest city, faces significant economic challenges with a poverty rate of about 33%. This rate is nearly 3 times the national average, highlighting the deep financial hardships many of its residents face. The situation is even more dire for children, with more than 43% living in poverty. Additionally, nearly half of Detroit households struggle with food insecurity, and 40% rely on food stamps, underlining the critical need for support and resources in this community. These cities illustrate the complex reality of poverty in the United States, where even in the wealthiest country in the world, many communities are left behind, struggling to overcome economic hardships. So these are the places in the U.S. where life is really tough for a lot of people. It shows that even in a wealthy country, many are left behind. Do you want to add your own city to the list? Let's hear you in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and please hit that like button too. Until next time, stay safe and healthy.